not know who Ben is. Played a lot in the first 3 seasons and made it to the Invitational, at least for season 2 and 3.
Yeah. I don't think he was in 1.
I don't think he was in 1.
Big fan of Valakut.
Yes.
Likes his 4-mana spells to go find hateful lands.
He does. And he came actually to talk to you about Hydras based on the podcast.
Ben Farabee. I like that guy. He's a good gentleman, but Hydras are awful. They're not a good creature type. The best Hydra in Magic is Chameleon Colossus. I don't want to hear otherwise.
Mutavault?
Mutavault is also a very good one.
Okay.
Yes, very good one. So, Biscuit, just so you know, too, Commander content, I'm going to try. Commander Online is a little more difficult because I don't have an established play group, and just kind of jamming into some queues, I could get into some real trouble with playing against some really lame turn 1 decks that just want to, or not turn 1, but Kalia, all that not good stuff. But I'm going to try to find some group to play in and, see what I can do. There's a lot of good Commander content online, and I'd like to provide something at least close to what they do if I want to do it, so... Crusader RDW, I think, looks pretty poised, and a lot of people would agree, to maybe make some kind of comeback with Amonkhet here. There's a lot of really good red cards. There's a lot of...
hateful stuff.
Yeah, and decks that want to win. So red decks win. Red decks
works out
wins.
pretty well.
Yeah.
So Ben came to argue about Hydras, and then Jeremy was like...
After I explained him why I was wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, after that
whole discussion... Jeremy was like, hey, you playing? And he's like, no, I just came to kind of argue with Eminem about Hydras and stuff like that. And he says, but look, I have this deck that's complete that you can just pick up and play. And it happened to have been Death Shadow.
Yep.
It's like, oh, you want this tier 1 deck that's,
here's just had this stuff laying around below, so
I'm not going to play it tonight if you want to sit there and play it.
Again, you spoke about it earlier, Jeremy has a lot of cards. Good guy, Jeremy. Mm-hmm. Anytime you don't have a deck at the shop, he will almost always be there to let you borrow one Legacy or Modern.
Exactly.
And awesome guy to do that for. Boxcars again, look at this. So
now, Ben does have the old Death Shadow, which was the all-in version, not the new Jund with Goyfs and stuff like that. So he understands kind of the aspect of just draining his life and doing that sort of thing, but this is kind of a rematch essentially for Devin from last week, because we did see Jund versus Death Shadow last week.
We did.
And Devin was able to win. So, he's been doing well piloting Jund. He's had it before, gotten rid of it, made it again. For the most part, it's a really fair, straightforward deck to play in Modern.
See, Jund and the words fair just never sit right in my mind, and I really can't let you...
So, okay, what would you think is a fair deck, then?
See, the problem is this.
There's no fair deck in Modern?
Jund is a fair deck, I would say, I guess. But it wasn't always. And so when I hear Jund, and I know this is me being old, Bloodbraid Elf into... Actually, what
gross.
it was the... I'm blanking on it now. Bituminous Blast. It was the 5-mana cost Cascade spell that would deal 4 damage to target creature. So you go, Bituminous Blast. Oh, look, I happen to find this Bloodbraid Elf. Oh, look, I happen to Blightning you. So 4 damage to your creature. I have a 3/2 with haste, and you need to discard 2 cards and take 3 damage. And it's like, you did all that for 5 mana. So, I guess Jund is the most fair deck. But the great thing about Jund, kind of as you pointed out, is that it's good against a lot of decks. It's just not great against any. So it can reward play skill. It can reward metagame knowledge, and it's definitely a decent deck all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Crusader Jund definitely used to be Magical Christmas Land.
Oh yeah.
And to answer your question before, they are playing in a real event. This is pre-recorded from last Monday, so about a week ago. But they are actually playing in a sanctioned Modern tournament.
Alright, Inquisition.
I have all of these lands, this Liliana, and this Lightning Bolt.
Yeah, and a card that I missed that he stripped away. But it was... this is what he's left with now. Okay. I mean,
it was probably good. Just know that it was a good card.
I would say Devin loves that Raging Ravine. Like
Raging Ravine's a sweet card. Actually,
he's good.
Another one of those things that doesn't get mentioned often because it doesn't come up much is you can actually double activate it to get 2 counters if it attacks.
Yeah, we did see him do that against me.
Oh.
In our match. Was that last week? Yeah, that was last week.
Okay.
Yeah, so check it
out on the VODs.
It is something that you don't see happen very often. Most people are just like, all right, I'll activate. But Devin was sitting there with just nothing but lands and no action other than that. So
also interestingly enough, Devin, this might have just been a slight error, played that Verdant Catacombs to actually reveal what he drew. He probably should have played the Wooded Foothills instead of the Verdant Catacombs.
Yes.
But, I guess Ben felt that Liliana was harsh enough that he needed to Thoughtseize it away anyway. Wow, what beats everything is eggs. Eggs beats everything. Except sometimes you beat yourself. So, but I like to look at it as I beat myself, eggs did not beat me. Or rather the other deck. But yeah, so again, like you said, as much as Devin's played the deck, there's probably definitely some little nuances and tweaks that he's still learning, as a lot of our players are.
Right.
And Ben is definitely going to be in the same boat as, like you pointed out, this is the first time he's played this deck. So,
and it's the first time he's played Magic in a couple months, I'd say.
There is something that comes up I won't spoil.
Okay.
Nothing too interesting, but just an interaction kind of with his inexperience with the deck. And he told me that he had been doing this all evening. So we'll probably see it soon.
Ooh, cool. All right. Do you both do brews or modern testing? I love brewing in Modern. I don't necessarily brew the best decks in Modern, but I love having fun and playing different stuff and silly stuff as well as competitive decks out there. But you don't play very much Modern. You have some Modern decks.
I have I have most of the cards to build most Modern decks I want, outside of some of the the fast lands are called, and then some of the niche stuff like the Mishra's Baubles, the some of the other stuff. I don't own Mox Opals yet.
Yeah.
I'm definitely getting more onto it. The problem for me personally, Crusader, is that I don't have a lot of time that lines up with real life people. So now that I've gotten a little bit back into Moto, I find myself playing a lot more Magic because I can just get home at 2 a.m. from work and fire up a draft or get in a Modern League or something like that. So, Crusader Evil, if you want, it might be something best corresponded through email or something like that. But yeah, definitely interested in hearing your idea for sure.
Tarfire coming down on the Lily.
And Lyle, that's a good point. He said maybe the Verdant Catacombs is there because it's better, or not there, but he played it because it's better at getting basics instead of fetching a tap shock at end of turn.
Yeah.
But he did just get the non-basics, so you're also right about that. But definitely a good point to consider, Lyle. Thank you.
Okay.
So the interesting thing here in this matchup as well is. Again, it's kind of conflicting plans, like we saw with the Boggles versus Abzan, where Jund is really trying to out-card advantage, the people that they play against. They play, a decent amount of cards that have X for ones, if you will, or they have multiple applications or things like that. But apparently I missed the point.
Just comparing that, Jund is card advantage style, but how does Death Shadow compare against it then?
Well, exactly, and so Death Shadow is a little greedier, with wanting specific cards, but the quality of their individual cards is very high, like Death Shadow, like a Tarmogoyf. If he jammed Death Shadow right now, we're looking at a 7/7 for a black mana.
Yeah.
So, the quality of his cards is higher, but.
Now again, I don't know if that was a land in his hand that got seen from Thoughtseize. Because Devin had 2 lands in his hand.
Oh, yeah. It was a Foothills. He's actually still got the same Foothills in his hand, I believe. If I'm not mistaken.
So that's, again, just something that would tighten up Devin's play.
Yep. Well, and a nuance that I actually try to do is I use all the same basic art lands.
Yeah.
Because if someone bounces it or they see it, it's less information for them. So, and it's also to make it easier for me, so I don't have to remember which ones that they saw.
Yep.
So.
Alright, so Devin's basically set up that he can start bringing the beats. And yeah, we'll fetch again. At least down to 15. Yeah, alright.
I believe if I'm not... Was that a Foothills that he fetched with?
Yes, that was the
So it was the same...
time.
Actually, it was the same Foothills as his opening hand.
Oh.
So, I believe. Yeah, so all that being said, I mean, again, Ben's done most of this damage to himself.
Yes. Fetching, shocking, Thoughtseize.
I don't think he's stuck a creature, right? The only thing is Liliana, he's going to get in for 4 here for the first time with this Raging Ravine.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to turn on an 11/11 Death Shadow if Ben has it. The old 1-mana 11/11. We got the Cooligans command.
Alright. So dealing... Did he get a creature back off of it, or just deal 2 damage?
I did not see.
I think he made him discard that lightning bolt, but I don't know if he got that Goyf back or anything.
Yeah, but
so
it would presumably so. Yeah.
Okay.
So they're calculating up the Goyf here. If I recall correctly, I believe it's a 5/6.
Creature, instant, sorcery, tribal, land, planeswalker.
Oh, so 6/7. Okay. Thank you, Lala said that he did indeed get the Goyf.
Got Goyf. Sweet.
So that was a draw.
That's all right.
Sack a baby, says Devin. So I believe Ben is drawing off the top here, so he's going to need
top deck mode.
A little.
Well, so this is similar to kind of what happened last week when Devin played against Death Shadow. Is it like got down to like a grindy stage?
How about that?
And wow, okay. That.
Oh yeah, for sure. Both these decks are definitely grindy decks. Absolutely. I drew.
Oh.
This Thoughtseize.
Doesn't he have? Oh, he had one card. He had the Thoughtseize. That's why he was just pushed away because he can't use it.
Now we're both going to discard.
All right. All right. Is that a fetch land there? Can he go to 1 or something here?
It looks like it. You're right, Lau. Paid off not to fetch. He obviously knew more than I did at that juncture in the game.
I'm wondering, is that another Kolgan's command? I mean, he just wins here, right? If that is a Kolgan's command, what?
Presumably.
Knowing
it is a Kolgan's command because he's going to end a draw step, do this to you, probably make you discard, redirect the damage to Liliana, I guess is what he's saying.
Yeah. But I mean, he could have, because there was no way he could have activated.
That was a Kolgan's command, yep.
So, but okay, so missing lethal here, but that's also. So not going to have him discard, but we'll have him kill off Lily, return Goyf. So just saying, you know what? If it's going grindy like this, I'll play it safe and.
Well, no, but you're right. I mean, you would have just killed him, right?
Yeah, that because.
Or do you have the Raging Ravine back to block with?
Well, he only had the Raging Ravine in 3 mana. Don't you need 4 to activate Raging Ravine?
I thought he had 4 because he's already attacked with it once.
He had before, but he played the 1 swamp for a Thoughtseize.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Yep, you're absolutely right.
But now it's back to stalemated up. That
2 Goyfs staring at each
be.
other.
Yeah. And if he swings in with everything kind of thing, it's like, well, he still has the Raging Ravine for backup. But, ooh, Abrupt Decay. So you can Abrupt the Goyf here and swing in with your Goyf.
Right, I'm not exactly sure what you're saying. I feel like you're trying to make a point, but I'm missing it. Yeah, I mean, and all that being said, it's definitely, I
was going to attack with both. Activate, block the Death Shadow, he'll die, and then he'll take 6. Go to 7.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely,
So, hey!
Brett, I'm on Team Lands in Front, and I am the captain in this chair today, the co-captain, as it were, and you are not. So Lands in Front are perfectly fine. Plus, Tarmogoyf can traverse many a terrain. So he's got me distracted, I'm sorry.
And he'll say, jump in the way of Death Shadow, go to 1. So even though he missed that lethal that turn, it didn't matter in the end.
Yeah.
So
definitely, I think it's a pretty fun and interesting matchup to watch.
Yeah.
So,
all right, who are you reading?
How about Ben Farabee, since he was wrong about Hydras and missed lethal? Ben is on 2 Collective Brutality, 1 Fatal Push, 1 Surgical Extraction, 3 Fulminator Mage, 1 Gravedigger's Cage, 1 Nihil Spellbomb, 2 Ancient Grudge, 1 Maelstrom Pulse, 1 Painful Truths, and 1 Valroz the Scar Striped. I like the potential of the Fatal Push. I think is a pretty auto-include. It hits pretty much every creature in the deck. Fulminator Mage is actually a card that could be decent against Jund, not just for the Raging Ravine, but the deck is very greedy when it comes to its mana, and taking him off of a color even for a turn or 2 is definitely a place that you might want to be. Painful Truths is okay as well to try to get back some of the card advantage that you tend to lose playing against Jund.
And you don't care about the life in this situation.
Pulse, again, it might be kind of where it's at. The problem is, obviously, you can't really pulse Goyfs too much because you play them yourselves.
You can lose yours, yeah.
I mean, really, there's quite a bit of possibilities here. With Cool Guns Command, you can make a case for the Spell Bombs.
Yep.
The only thing I don't really see in is an Ancient Grudge or a... I don't think the Surgicals have much play here.
Right.
Collective Brutality, maybe, but again, I think the most powerful cards that they play are Planeswalkers and creatures, so I'm not sure you'd really want to bring the Brutality either.
All right. Over on Devin's side, he's got the double Surgical, 1 Anger, 1 Ancient Grudge, 1 Engineer Explosive, 1 Gravedigger's Cage, 2 Sudden Shock, 1 Slaughter Pact, 1 Seals Primordium, 1 Thrun the Last Troll, 1 Dreadbore, 1 Olivia, 1 Damnation, and 1 Slaughter Pact. So, he loves the one-ofs here. I like the Thrun coming in.
Thrun will be pretty sweet.
Hexproof, Regenerate, he gets in the way. Engineer Explosives would be a nice one to add in here. The Death Shadow does not usually run Planeswalkers, so you don't really need to worry about Dreadbore coming in.
I do know that Mox, when he was playing it, played Liliana the Last Hope.
That's true.
Because actually on stream we saw it do quite a bit of work.
That's true. In the sideboard, you sometimes will see some of that included over Veil. So Devin didn't see any that time around, so I think maybe go into Game 2 not expecting Planeswalkers. If you see it, Game 3, you can easily bring it in.
Right.
I also don't mind Slaughter Pact coming in here. If you get to a point where you're tapped out and they think it's clear to swing in with a Goyf or a Death Shadow, you can just get him.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on Thrun. Olivia kind of speaks to me because the game does go a little long, And to just go, hey, that's my Death Shadow.
Yeah.
Or, hey, that's my Tarmogoyf. Especially when the...
And it's got evasion, which is kind of relevant with all of Death Shadow's creatures being on the ground.
Yes, exactly. Well, not only that, but they don't play a lot of creatures. So, to take them... while whoever the table judge was listed it twice, and there's something wrong with them, so... Also, I'm with you. Valrals is pretty sweet. We did see Jeremy bring it in last week, I believe. It didn't get to do too much, but...
No, he played it and then it immediately died, and I know Brett and I were all hyped about it. But, yeah, it definitely could be something to consider bringing in. Having all the other creatures in your graveyard have scavenge is pretty effective. But we saw that Ben also favored bringing creatures back with his Kolaghan's Command.
Right, yeah. And, Kolaghan's Command is a very, very, very versatile card. I mean, I don't have to... It can't be overstated, so...
Too clunky? Okay. Yeah, I mean, it is slow, like, you get to the 4 mana kind of thing, but since the game is kind of grindy, like, I think it's fine to include maybe one of them.
Well, not only that, I mean, the thing is, though, is they stick around and block.
Yeah, that's true,
There's no way for Ben to get the...
Wow.
Yeah. There's no way for Ben to get the Thrun off the table.
Dismember, Traverse, Mishra's Bauble.
A couple of Street Wraiths.
Double Street Wraith. So, I think the determining factor here is, do you care about him having a removal spell or not? And it looks like, yeah, based on Devin's hand, that is what he does care about.
Yeah, I mean, I think not cycling Street Racer was pretty correct. I think some people would have fired them off. I don't really know why, but I just feel like some people would. So.
Yeah. All right. So Ben already at 16.
Hasn't even played a land yet.
Nope.
Hasn't even drawn his first card for the game for his natural turn, and he's already at 16. He is not messing around. We got a Mishra's Bauble. He's going to look at the top card of his deck.
Because I know he had a fetch land, so that's also determining whether he wants to keep that card on top or not.
Yeah.
And there are times when you want to look at your opponent's cards and stuff like that, but I think if you are sitting with a fetch land, that it's more important to know what is coming up for you over your opponent right there. All right. And he'll go to 13. What a way to start.
Because why not?
Yeah. Oh, wait. I need to update this before we get any information in chat.
Yeah, for backseat of Zurin R.
Oh, gambling away. I don't even know how much mana I have. I actually have so much mana, I bet, because...
Well, and not only that, but it was Justice because he lost 2 times in a row.
Oh.
And anyone that's been in Brett's casual gaming stream can tell you that the patrons of that channel are very much think that Brett conspires with Revlo to make sure they lose. So, got a little taste of his own medicine. Another right. Inquisition.
Oh, Painful
looks like
Truce.
You did bring in the Painful Truce, yeah. Maybe we're on the same page here.
So
this is what happened. This is the instance I was referring to earlier. Ben forgot his Mishra's Bauble trigger to the delayed trigger to draw during Devin's upkeep.
Ooh, that had come up before, too.
Yeah, and he said he's been doing it all night. And I told him, I said, hey, man, just put a die on top of your library to remind you or something. But he says, hey, what happens? And I said, well, we've already gone to a draw step. Enough of the game. I feel, as the judges elapsed, that now Devin gets to decide whether or not he
I think that was
the trigger.
Or did he say, I don't care?
Yeah, Devin said, go ahead and do it. Go for it. So, good guy, Devin, there.
Good guy. So I think a lot of people tonight were in that same boat of, you know what, go ahead. You're learning the deck kind of thing. You don't normally play this deck. Whatever. You can get the draws kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Well, it's nice to see that, too, because, while it is sanctioned, it doesn't have to be cutthroat.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
So he did have did opt for Surgical. So he goes Inquisition, and then I will Surgical away and just get rid of your Death Shadow.
Give me those Death Shadows.
One less thing to worry about.
I need this.
I mean, you talked about it too, is that there's not many creatures that this list runs.
No, huh? I mean, I think he's down to Tarmogoyf now, right?
Yeah.
And Hardcast Street Wraith is a thing, I guess?
Yep, that's true. So, this is a great position for Devin to be in here. And he will take 2, though, to do the surgical. So now Ben can be a lot more conservative with his life because, hey, me draining myself down so much doesn't really have the big payout anymore.
Right.
So I think he has Delirium at this point.
I guess we'll see based off of what he finds, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically like either find a Goyf, artifact, land, creature, and I'm assuming there's probably a sorcerer. I think he's already looked at Devin's hand. Yeah,
Well,
looks like he does grab a creature there.
Maybe we won't see what he got. It does not appear to be a basic land.
It does not appear to be a basic land.
Jace Player 77, how you doing?
What is up?
Welcome to the stream.
Mm-hmm. We are currently in round 4 of 5 tonight.
So Devin is going to try to make fetch happen.
Yep. Let's see what at least going to 17. I mean, Devin's usually pretty conservative.
Yeah.
With his fetching.
Yeah. And sometimes it's the way to be.
Yeah.
Jace, were you a victim of the Sensei's top banning, or did you own a couple foil Gitaxian probes?
I have
Anubis with the triple.
So
Look at that 100.
Many Gitaxian probes,
The
actually.
old triple. Yeah, I actually have a playset of pack foils.
Oh, nice.
So
I have.
I guess
well,
I can
not
make
anymore.
I can make 4 vintage decks.
Yeah, there you go.
So
That's those. I have the promo ones, and I have the pack foil ones. So
I actually traded the promo ones for the pack foil ones. So I don't really know why he did that, but he did. So
yeah,
I'll take it.
I mean, jam them into cubes, I guess.
Cubes.
Multiple.
Are there
You're
people
gonna
that
get-
own more than one
No.
cube? I need to meet these people.
Yeah.
Bought foil tops and foil counterbalance. Jace, I'm sorry for your loss. The good news is the foil tops probably won't lose much value due to Commander.
That's true.
But the counterbalances are probably not good.
Yeah. Oh.
Again, though, the
Pushed
good
off the
news is
cliff.
a lot of those foils are still going to keep some value for you. Just not the counterbalances. Foil Brainstorms are still sweet.
Yeah.
Foil Terminus is a fine card.
Mm-hmm.
Anubis with a triple and then a 96. Almost
Wow.
another triple. Anubis, go buy yourself a lottery ticket.
Yeah. Ooh, Goyf.
So we finally see one of Ben's remaining win conditions here.
Mm-hmm. And here's
The
a
old Goyf die.
5/6. Devin's gonna fetch down.
Jace, did you also play Birthing Pod and Splinter Twin by any chance? It does not appear that Devin has a lot of cards left in his hand, though.
No. Running out of gas.
Which isn't good when your opponent's got a Tarmogoyf, regardless of their lack of Death Shadows remaining in their deck.
Right. And I mean, most of the removal, though, that Devin can draw can get rid of it. With the exception of those bolts that he might have.
Yep. I'm sorry.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
sorry that I called that one for you, Jace. I had a feeling. We had a friend at a shop that the same thing happened to, and he doesn't really play too much Modern anymore.
Yeah, let us know what you're going to foil out next so we know to stay off of it.
Yeah, so I know not to buy it. It's weird because it's like Anubis has all of the luck today, and you have none of the luck.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll turn around. Modern Judge, don't do it. I love Life from the Loam. Stop.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite cards. You should actually build Infect next, Jace. And you can get that banned. Or Tron. Maybe Tron.
Yeah, play some Tron for a while.
We could just get... if they ban Tron, I really hope... do something to Tron. I hope they just ban, like, Urza's Tower.
Just
like, you can play the other two,
yeah.
but get rid of that tower.
Oh, that would be so troll. Alright, 19 minutes left in the round. Ben's down to 11.
We're going to start making some moves.
Yeah.
But Devin really doesn't seem to have...
Looks like a land and a bolt in hand.
Yeah.
And he's going to drop to
Crash.
11.
11 all.
Oof. And, I mean, Ben still has, like, Painful Truth, Abrupt Decay. Like, he's actually set up nicely here.
Cheer up, emo kids. More a little bit of a joke. I have a personal vendetta against Tron that's fairly well known to some of the stream, but
yeah, don't.
You know, I'm kind of with you there. I don't think that it's overpowered at all anymore.
Right.
I think that the banning of Ive Ugin was, it made that deck a little more fair, even though that wasn't the initial reason to ban Ive Ugin.
And here's the Painful Truth. Now, let's see. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
So presumably paid a red, a black, and a green.
Yeah.
And did not pay triple black. That was an option he had available to him.
Alright. And he got 2 Inquisitions off of it. Devin's sitting with 2 cards in hand, but you're down to 8. I think you just wait here.
And I don't believe that Ben knows either card.
No, he hasn't really done any looking lately. So... drops down to 7.
Nobody likes a looky-loo.
Grixis Delver. Grixis Delver's fun, but Delver's just not good in Modern. Like, in the sense that he never flips consistently.
Well, I
mean,
wonder why.
some people get lucky and get, like, the blind flips and stuff like that, but I just don't... I don't know. I did not enjoy Delver as much in that list, but I didn't want to make it just Grixis control, even though
the problem with Delver is they've banned all the best blue cantrips.
Yes,
you know,
for good reason though. For Modern,
no.
No,
we need Ponder and Preordain, man.
We need them.
We need them.
You think that's
we
what
have
the format needs?
We have no control decks. Lau's been jamming some blue white.
Okay,
it's still a little shaky though, and what it
Right.
really needs is some card selection. You know, it's not even card advantage, right? Like you draw one, you lose one. It's just card selection.
Yes.
And you've already gotten rid of Twin. You know the
the big old boogeyman of the colors.
WotC just hates blue, is what it comes down to. Which there is a correlation to why I haven't been playing as much Magic lately. Because WotC hates blue, and I love blue. So, Chris Hare Modern does not need Brainstorm. You stop it.
Devin is on just
Traditional Jund.
Traditional
Jund.
Oh, he probably took 5 more off of that Goyf before he played that too. So we'll say he's at 6, gains 2 to 8.
eating away those Death Shadows that are hanging out in the graveyard.
Yeah.
I believe there's at least a Grim Flare as well that was played earlier that he could be able to eat up as well, but we'll see. Yeah, so he'll stay at 8. Fetch for... Oh, maybe he doesn't have a forest here. Nope, he loves him some basics.
Farmer Zernar, you are right. Twin is not the boogeyman because it's not a deck anymore. So the monster is actually not in your closet like your parents told you all along. It used to be, but they scared it away. So
now I thought that we would see more control style when Nahiri came out and people were trying that, like just Guy for a little bit with Emrakul, but then it never really stuck around.
He's got the fatal push.
Boom.
To push his way to victory.
Boom. That's all we needed.
That one removal spell. So the opposite happened this week for Devin. He lost 0-2 that time.
It's an interesting matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too soon. So that was round 4. I like watching the Jund versus Death Shadow, and I like watching like Abzan.
I'm with you.
decks.
I normally have an issue with some of the. I don't care personally much for how the ban list has made Magic in Modern very creature smashing into each other.
Yeah.
But this matchup particularly does not nearly feel that way.
Yeah.
You know, like when chat's talking about Eldrazi Winter here a little bit. When Eldrazi was the dominant deck, there was very much that. It was kind of just like haymaker, 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 haymaker. And sometimes you like to see a little jab. You like to see a little positioning, a little bit of
setup.
You know, some finesse, not just throwing goifs and 12 Death Shadows around for one block.
Yeah.
But that's me personally. So I like to see a good sweeper.
Winter was horrible.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Like, I mean, we'll see though how the format continues to develop and stuff like that, and what's to come from all of this.
Right.
So one more round for us guys to see Plunger Twin. All right, let's take a look at our points. Who is on camera last round? Okay.
Alan Tyler. Actually, this is the one I was thinking. They came together.
They did.
So, like all of us have experienced at some point in a tournament, somewhere in there, you get to play with the guy you rode with.
It happens. Brett and I always seem to battle it out, at least at the shop. It's rare that we battle at other events, but
Chris Keller and I entered a 600-person Legacy side event at the Grand Prix DC that we actually saw you guys at.
Yeah.
And we played each other around 3. Round 3 we played each other. 600 people in this tournament we played each other around.
I think
3.
that's happened with like TJ and Lyle and some of the other guys that have gone to like GPs and stuff like that, and I don't know, just bad luck. So let's see who we got here, how things work. Abzan